So, you're heavily involved in helping ex-Gurkhas who come over here to settle. So this is what we're talking about, the ex-Gurkhas settlement in Swindon. And just carry on, you're saying there's a lot of issues. For example, a small one is like when an ex-Gurkha comes here to tell them where the library is, maybe where the leisure centre are, where certain things that they would find very useful to them are.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Junior. Yes, because as I mentioned that our Gurkhas, ex-Gurkhas were retired a very long time ago, and we are from developing country to developed country where we find everything different. I can give you one example, that is, if you go from developed country to undeveloped country, you find very easy. But if you traveling from undeveloped country to developed country is very difficult. So that we are here, we think everything is okay, here is not. Because first of all, we do not have a language, i.e. we can't speak English. Because here they are all in English. Everything in English, but we do not understand. That is the first issue. That is the first hurdle for us. This is why I've I've tried to get the education, literacy and numeracy course from MTC Learning Swindon. Then we did courses for them like DOG. So that from the scratch they need to go. So that now is nearly 3 years, so now we are about to adapt here. So that I'm really grateful to the Swindon Borough Council because they granted fund for us where we can use the hall for every week on Wednesday for 3 hours, where we can meet, where we can establish our courses for that. So that is the actual helpful thing for my group, senior citizens. They are all aged, they can't see, they need help in every moment. So if we do not give the help they are expecting us, they can't survive anymore.
So what kind of issues are we talking about here? I mean, we have maybe the language barrier, understanding the new system and how things work. Can you elaborate on what sort of problems ex-Gurkhas coming into the UK for the first time face?
Yes, the first time, because when they arrive, or when he or she or they arrive here, their pocket is empty. So they need financial help. So that another one is the SAFA I mentioned earlier on. The SAFA is always standing for them. This is why I'm the SAFA case officer, where I take their problem, then I put forward their application where they get some money so that they can survive. Because we can have the pension credit, but it takes time. Before, when I came here, we used to get about 9-10 months to get our pension credit, because they didn't have a good information about us. Now I have got every integration program, so that they know what we are, then we know what they want, this sort of thing. Now it takes about 2 or 3 months they get a pension credit. So that is the financial problem. And second thing is culture. It's always different here. And adoption is always problem. So that we now, and also the weather. Weather here is so that it's very, very difficult. And the way we used to live in our country, the way they have to live here is entirely different. So that, once again, the adoption is really problem for them.
So those are just a few issues in terms of, because like you said, you're moving to a totally different country, a totally new way of life. But you touched on very slightly this big issue about Gurkhas, ex-Gurkhas resettling into the UK. You mentioned earlier that you weren't allowed to settle in the UK until 2009. It's been well publicised in the media for a good few years now about the issue of Gurkhas who have served the British military, who have served the UK, not being able to come here and settle and live, and even celebrities like Joanna Lumley involved. Can you tell us more about this, maybe in terms of what the main issues are there? Why is it that it was so difficult for the Gurkhas to settle back in the UK, a country that they would have served throughout their military career?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Dinar. Yes, this is what when the Gurkha issue is raised, the our blood pressure is also raised. So in other words is, we were with the British in 1815, but until we had to wait until 2009. If you ask that question, everybody asks why, but we don't have an answer. But when I asked the right person, people who are sitting in the right post, and said, look, this is because of your three-party agreement. Well, we never know what three-party agreement was and well, that sort of thing. But now, because I raised this point, and a lot of our association, they are raising this point. Then, when you raise this point to the, for example, MPs, they said, wait, there is no money in the pot. Well, I don't know whether this is the right answer for that or not. And we kept this case to the ECSR, European countries in human rights. So we've already failed in this country to get our right entitlement. We put that case to the Strasbourg, and they've given twice ultimatum dates, but still there isn't. So, although we are under the British Army, but the things we are having now is something like unusual thing. If you talk about the pension, we got 1/5. That's
I'm gonna come to the pension issue in a second, JB. But I want you just to elaborate a bit about where do the Gurkhas stand right now? Because finally, it's been long and hard fought for you to be allowed to come and settle in the UK. You got that in 2009, but there are still issues. There are issues with funding, where you're settled, how easy it is for you to come here. Where do the Gurkhas stand right now today?
Thank you. Yes, we are in position of the barrier is open to where we can come and settle. But further on, the entitlement further is not sure. So that there are few cases. The first thing is the 18 years dependent. In other words, is we cannot bring our children here with their parents if they are 18 years and above. So that is the case recently announced by the High Court that 18 years, Gurkhas 18 years dependent may come, but we are expecting when. That is the another case just announced. But the another case like pension is still on and pending. And now I can mention this case is...
Yeah, so if you just explain to us, you're saying that there's a big difference between your pension scheme and that of, let's say, a regular British Army service personnel.
Yes, indeed. Yes, although very truly speaking, I can tell freely now. But as I said, when I was in the army, I was not entitled I must keep my mouth closed. But anyway, yes, we were with the British, but the British people used to have a single bunk. We used to have a 12-man, 18-man bunk. And they used to have an air conditioner where we didn't have a fan. This sort of thing, different. And of course, the pension and salary was far different. Like as I mentioned, is maybe 1/5. If, for example, a Smith gets £500, we get hardly £100. That is the difference. And also every nitty-gritty things is the different. We never know why.
So it seems you do feel that there was a bit of a double standard going on.
Indeed, yes, I agree with your word you mentioned. Yes, double standard. Yes. So this is the really issue, and now we have one association have announced the date for hunger strike. That is, if the British do not treat us equally, then the ex-Gurkhas will go and sit in front of the number 10 until the case is come in front of us. Otherwise, we are now ready to die for our right things.